Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Taliban leaders giving their first press conference as fear, tumult, confusion grip parts of Afghanistan in the aftermath of the Taliban's takeover. Plus, it's the first day that Detroit's most vulnerable people can get their third coronavirus shot at the TCF Center. We will take you there. And today, the Biden administration is expected to recommend all Americans get booster shots 8 months after their second dose. That vaccine news tops our news this noon. The updated booster shot guidance could go into effect in mid-September. Meantime, COVID cases continue to surge nationwide as kids return to school and parents and teachers grapple with the reality of in-person learning, quarantines, battles over masks. Sam Brock breaks down all the new developments from Coral Gables, Florida.
Significant developments overnight after so much conversation about whether or not Americans would need a third booster shot to protect themselves against COVID-19. Sources now telling NBC News that the Biden administration backs that plan with a time frame of administering it 8 months after the second dose. It is possible that there could be third shots in arms as early as September, pending FDA authorization. Now, the New York Times first broke this story and laid out the order of prioritization as follows. Nursing home residents first, followed by healthcare workers and emergency workers, older Americans, and then the rest of the general population. And this comes at a time when the Delta variant is ravaging communities across the country and parents are sending their kids back to school. I'm in Coral Gables right now in Miami-Dade County, which is fully expected to institute a mandatory mask mandate this week ahead of classes starting next week. Already, we are only 1 week into the school year in some parts of Florida, and there have been thousands of students quarantined, certainly other school districts trying to be as safe as possible. In Coral Gables, Sam Brock, NBC News.
All right, thank you, Sam. Let's talk more about the booster shots. Today, the TCF Center is once again a vaccination site, but only for people who are eligible for their third dose of COVID-19 vaccine. Those people must be immunocompromised. So let's check in with our Rod Maloney, who is surveying the situation downtown. Is it the same as what we saw before, Rod?
The city of Detroit residents haven't exactly embraced the vaccine. Only about 40% have any kind of vaccine dosage. The city is doing everything it can to encourage that. And on this day, when they're allowed to give a third dose, they are getting some traffic here at the TCF Center. The TCF Center garage continues to be a hive of activity. Detroiters sitting in their vehicles can get their third dose here, but first or second will do just as well.
I feel like that I'm not going to catch nothing. That's the way I feel, you know. I might go a little closer to people now than I usually been doing.
Now, the reason for the third jab is that the immunocompromised actually need them. Turns out that cancer patients or organ transplant recipients or those in advanced or untreated HIV infections with 2 jabs don't end up with enough antibodies to fight COVID. But a third shot takes care of that. Detroit Health Department Director Denise Fair says of the process,
we're not going to ask them for a doctor's note. We're not going to ask them for a prescription or for a letter. We want to just remove all the bureaucracy and get people protected.
There is no end date or time on this project. The city wanting to get everybody vaccinated. They are sitting on many thousands of doses of vaccine, and they say all you need to do is call the health department, make an appointment, and they'll make sure you get your jab. In Detroit, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Thanks, Rod. We are expecting our next Michigan coronavirus data update tomorrow afternoon. As we wait, let's catch you up on all the headlines. Grand Rapids Public Schools has issued a new mask mandate for all students and staff. Here in Detroit, the 42nd annual Detroit Jazz Festival is shifting to a virtual format. Remember, they were going to go live. And the highly contagious Delta variant has flooded the nation with a surge of recent infections. Here are the numbers. The United States has seen more than 2,756,000 new cases during the last 28 days alone. 13,753 people have died during that 28-day period. Now, these numbers come to us from the Johns Hopkins University database. Also making headlines, Michigan's unemployment agency answering tough questions from the House Oversight Committee in Lansing today. About 650,000 Michiganders who collect were recently asked to refile information to make sure they're eligible for benefits. This after the UIA asked a series of questions not pre-approved by the Department of Labor. Today marked an opportunity to hear from the UIA and those impacted by numerous glitches.
We finally got through to somebody while the reporter was there. We talked to somebody. That person was not very helpful. Lied, said that the questions were different. They weren't. These were contractors hired. One of my law students now, a brilliant, bright young woman, was actually hired last year as a contractor to answer those calls. She reports there was no training. She reports we had to call from weird random area codes, a Las Vegas area code. So many clients don't know when they get a call that it's even from anything like that. She reports being skeptical anytime an employee calls in, but believing an employer is gospel. So yeah, I guess we all think maybe if we just got a human voice at the other end, we could describe what it is, but I guess it depends on who the audience is.
Lawmakers are hoping to learn more about the problems some are facing so changes can be made moving forward. Now to Afghanistan, where Taliban leaders gave their first press conference since taking over the country. In that conference, a spokesman said Afghanistan is now, quote, emancipated, and the group seeks no revenge. The spokesman also asserted that women's rights will be honored under Islamic law. Many are skeptical of those claims. 80% of the nearly 250,000 people in Afghanistan who have been forced to flee their homes since the end of May have been women and children, according to the UN Refugee Agency. A report released last month from the UN also showed that the number of women and children killed and injured increased in May and June. Around the same time, U.S. and other international troops moved forward with withdrawing their remaining troops from Afghanistan. Meantime, military flights evacuating diplomats and civilians from that country have resumed a day after the runway at Kabul was dramatically overrun and then cleared of thousands of people desperate to flee Afghanistan. Richard Engel has this report from Kabul.
Kabul airport is back up and running. Evacuation flights in full swing. Flights were stopped yesterday when tens of thousands of Afghans stormed onto the runways, desperate to leave. Some Afghans were able to get out. On one flight so full, it may have set a record for the number of people who can fit onto an American C-17. Afghans are running from the Taliban, now in full control. Today, the Taliban told Afghans they have nothing to fear. The group called on civil servants to return to work, offered a non-specific general amnesty, and called on women to join their new government. But the Taliban also said they will always be guided by strict Islamic Sharia law. Many Afghans don't believe the Taliban's promises of tolerance.
Somebody should help me.
Hasib, a translator for the U.S. military, is one of thousands in hiding. Translators have been marked for death by the Taliban. Hasib has no visa to the U.S. and no way of getting to the airport if he had one. We're not showing his face for his safety.
Right now I am in Kabul, and Kabul is surrounded by the Taliban. I'm not safe here. This is all the documents to prove that I was an interpreter.
The Taliban are trying to show they're an open, legitimate government ready to engage with the world. Now they have to prove it to a skeptical and frightened nation. The Taliban have even offered to work with members of the former government they just overthrew. The question is, can they be trusted? Richard Engel, NBC News, Kabul.
Now let's turn our attention to the weather as we take a live look outside through our Skycam. So, Brandon, what are we expecting here?
Well, here is a look at Comerica Park. Tigers, Angels tonight. Miggy, 500, maybe trying to hit that tough one, 500th home run, but conditions are good there now. We are looking at temperatures flirting with 80 degrees as I'm trying to get the machine rolling here. There we go. At least the heat index is in that neighborhood, so more of the warm and muggies today. Middle upper 70s now, and isolated shower chances could be for part of tailgating tonight, but our shower chances really start to increase as we head into your Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we'll take a closer look at that coming up.
Still to come, a former Detroit Lions player appeared in court today, and we go inside the courtroom after the break.
All right.